I've been on the carnivore diet for 3 months and I cannot believe what just happened during month 3. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It's Caitlin from the Carnivore Couple, and if you're new here, I'm on a journey to lose 100 pounds in the next year using the carnivore diet, and I just finished month 3. And honestly, the results of month 3 was not what I was expecting. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my results from this month, and then I'm going to give you guys my game plan for how I'm going to make month 4 my best month yet. Let's get into it. All right, so let's start with results from month 3. Month 3 was definitely not what I was expecting, and it really challenged me mentally. Just to take you guys back for a second, in case you haven't followed my journey up until this point, when I started carnivore my very first month, I lost 18 pounds in that month, and then my second month on carnivore, I lost 14 pounds during that month. So up until this point in my journey, I have already lost 32 pounds in my first 2 months on the carnivore diet, which is absolutely amazing. Now, I know my weight loss is going to slow down, and a majority of the weight that you lose in the beginning is water weight, which is why it is so important to supplement with electrolytes, and we use Element, which is today's video sponsor. Element is an electrolyte drink mix that has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. And like I said, at the beginning of a weight loss journey, especially if you're transitioning from a standard American diet to a lower carb diet like carnivore, which is 0 carbs, you're gonna notice that your body loses water weight so quickly. So it's really important to find some way to supplement electrolytes, and that's gonna help you avoid keto flu so that you can stay on track and you're not feeling awful your first couple of weeks when you transition into this new lifestyle. And if you can tell by my voice right now, I am a little scratchy. I'm recovering from a cold, so one of my favorite ways that I've actually been enjoying Element, and some of you guys have mentioned this down in the comments, is using Element hot. And so right now I've actually got some chocolate caramel in here with a little bit of cream, and this is delicious, and it's also making sure I'm staying hydrated while I get over this cold. So I'm sorry I sound a little bit different. My voice is a lot lower than normal, but I gotta get my electrolytes in, and they're super good hot too. And right now, Element is offering a free sample pack with any order when you use our link, drinkelement.com/carnivorecouple. Again, that's DRINKLMNT.com/carnivorecouple. Thank you to Element for sponsoring this video. So like I said, in my first 2 months, I have already lost 32 pounds. And while I wasn't expecting to keep up that pace of weight loss, I still was expecting to lose maybe around 8 to 10 pounds during this 3rd month on my carnivore journey. But that is definitely not what happened. So at the beginning of November, I gave myself a challenge that I would have a no weigh November, just completely taking the scale out and solely focusing on staying carnivore and sticking to my goals. But even with the challenge of a no weigh November, I still had a little bit of a hard start to November. And I think there were several reasons for this. Reason number 1, we had some tempting Halloween candy in our pantry that our toddler had gotten during trick-or-treating, and you know, I would sneak a piece here or there. I'm not a perfect person, and I still struggle sometimes with that, and so I had a couple pieces of candy. But then on top of that, I am 4 months postpartum with twins, and then in addition to that, it's starting to get colder and dark. It's tricky to be outside with 3 little kids. When it gets to be around 20 degrees, I find it challenging to get them super bundled up and warm so that we can be out for long periods of time. So by that time, it's like, is it even worth it? And so I feel like we're stuck inside, so I'm dealing with a little bit of postpartum depression, kind of seasonal depression, and how I have coped with that in the past is through food. And so I did have an off-plan cheat meal there at the beginning of November as well. And so that really set me back for month 3 here. So at the end of my first week of month 3, I did step on the scale just because I wanted to see how I was doing. I had ended my month 2 at 223 pounds, and then by the end of my first week of my 3rd month, I gained 5 pounds. I was up to 228 pounds. You know, eating off plan is never worth it. I always feel worse when I eat off plan. You know, when I stay on carnivore, I feel great, and when I have something that is off plan, I get inflammation back in my knees. They just feel heavy, my joints hurt, my back hurts, everything just isn't as good when I'm off plan, and I need to keep reminding myself that it is not worth it. I need to stick on plan. So the rest of November, for the most part, I stayed on plan. I think I had a few keto meals here and there. Again, I'm not a perfect person. I'm just trying to do my best. Consistency over perfection. So then at the end of the month, it was finally time before my weigh-in, so I did 3 weeks solid with not weighing myself. So then at the end of December, I stepped on the scale and I was still 223 pounds. So for this entire month, I have lost nothing, 0 pounds, and I was definitely not expecting that. But like we always say, the real determiner of success isn't what the scale says, it's how are you feeling? How is your body composition changing? And so even though it's really tricky mentally to get away from the scale mindset, I did then go and check my measurements. You know, I didn't lose anything on the scale from the end of month 2, but how did my actual body composition change? So in month 3, even though I lost nothing on the scale, I still lost 2 inches on my chest, 2.5 inches on my waist, and 2 inches on my hips. And I feel like that just goes to show how the scale can be such a liar and such a demotivator to your success. What really matters is how you're feeling and how your clothes are fitting. You know, if I had weighed myself throughout month 3, if I hadn't given myself that No Weigh November challenge, maybe I wouldn't have been able to mentally handle not seeing the scale move. But since I had completely taken the scale out of the equation, I stayed consistent, I stayed strong, and I still lost inches. So I would still consider my month 3 a success, but it's just a success in a different way. The inches still matter. So even though I had a rough start to this month and I lost 0 pounds during month 3, I am still getting smaller and closer to my goals every single day. And you know, the longer I'm on this weight loss journey, the more I realize that losing weight is such a mental game, at least for me. You know, if I had been weighing myself throughout month 3, maybe I would have looked at the scale and thought, why am I not dropping weight as quickly? What is happening? Maybe I could have gotten demotivated by what the scale was saying without actually checking my measurements and seeing I'm actually making amazing gains, even though that's not showing up on the scale. And so it's just such a big mental shift, at least for me, to not put so much pressure on what that scale says. And that's why it's just so important that you not only track your weight, but you track your measurements, because like what happened to me, your weight might not change at all, but maybe you are still losing inches. And you know, in just a second, I'm gonna talk about some of my goals coming up here for month 4. And one of my goals is I wanna start incorporating some weight training and weightlifting and things like that. And I think that, you know, as I'm building muscle, I may not see that scale move as much, but my body composition is gonna be changing and I'm gonna be getting stronger. And so I think this was a really good test for me of that. Do I have the mental strength to not see the scale move, but to still be consistent? And if you're kind of feeling the same way, where you feel like you put way too much pressure on the scale, or maybe you're stuck in this place where you're weighing yourself almost every single day, I would just really encourage you to give yourself a no weigh month where you just take the scale completely out of the equation. I think it's helped me so much mentally on my journey so far and helping me stay consistent regardless about what the scale is saying, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the scale says. What matters is how I'm feeling and how my clothes are fitting. And I would just challenge you to try a no weigh month, because it's really helped fix my mental game during this health journey. So those were my results from month 3. I lost 0 pounds, but I did lose 6-ish inches or so. So now let's move on and talk about month 4 and my game plan for how I'm gonna make this month my best month yet. All right, y'all, so here is my game plan for month 4. I always like to give myself mini challenges and just kind of mix things up a little bit as I'm on this journey to lose 100 pounds within the next year. So here's what I'm challenging myself to this month. So first off, I wanna challenge myself to not weigh myself the entire month. I think that was really good for me mentally. So I have weighed in here at the beginning of the month. I'm still at 223 pounds. And so I'm not going to weigh myself. I'm going to take the scale out of the equation and only weigh myself at the end of the month, just so I can stay focused and stay consistent and get that mindset shift away from what the scale says. My next mini challenge for this month is to have no calories until 12 p.m. So I'm going to start focusing on incorporating some intermittent fasting. I had been doing this previously, but nothing ever really consistent. But this month, I'm really going to focus on no calories until 12 p.m. and no calories after 6 p.m. So that gives me about a 6-hour eating window. And then this is going to give my body time to burn my own fat for fuel. I've got tons of extra calories just hanging out that my body can use. And so I want to give my body the opportunity to use that. So my last goal is that I would like to focus on being more intentional about spending time with Patrick and prioritizing our marriage to make sure that we are both connecting every single day. You know, we have twins and a 3-year-old, and it can seem super hectic throughout the day meeting everybody else's needs, but then it's still really important that we are spending time to grow and water and take care of our marriage. And so one of the ways that we're going to start doing that, and Patrick doesn't even know I'm saying this, but he has started working out in the evening. So, you know, we finally have a great routine where we get all the kids to bed by around 7:45 at night. And then Patrick will go do a workout. And then I'm usually just in bed and just relaxing or something like that. And what I think would be a better use of my time is really prioritize working out with him and using that as a time for us to bond together, not only on our weight loss journey, even though he's like already reached his goal, but you know, he can be motivating me. We can be working out together. He's gonna look super cute while he's lifting weights. We can talk, we can connect. So instead of our old habit of watching Grey's Anatomy after the kids go to bed, I'm going to then just join him on his workouts. I have a friend who has designed some CrossFit inspired workouts that are about just 15 minutes. So I'll do my CrossFit workout, I'll go take a shower, then I get into bed. But, you know, prioritizing my marriage by doing something that Patrick's already doing and investing in our relationship, I think that is going to be a really great goal for this month, not only for my physical health, but our mental health, and just, you know, making sure we're watering our marriage too. All right, y'all, so there you have it. For month 3, I lost a total of 0 pounds, but I did lose 6-ish inches. So like I've said before, it's so important to track your measurements because sometimes the scale won't move, but you'll still see your body change. And you know, it can be super hard mentally to not see that scale move, but we just have to keep going and keep pushing forward, because if we can be consistent day after day after day, that is going to produce the result that we want, and that's going to help us reach the health goals that we have so that we can be here today, but that we can also be healthy for years to come. You got this. Keep going. I am proud of you. You can do it. Stay strong. Do you think you might be stalled on the carnivore diet? Make sure to click on this video for a few tips on how to break through your own weight loss stall. I'll see you guys in the next one.